Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It is me once again, screaming into the void of the internet, waiting on my ride as usual. Night shift, blah blah blah. But I kind of wanted to discuss something, and it's mainly in relation to a sentiment that I don't really think people realize how serious this is. And it's not about gender dynamics per se, but I kind of want to just be honest about something. I don't think guys realize how strong they are, you know. I don't think a lot of you guys that are dealing with a lot of crap, you talk about how you're neurodivergent and stuff, like, I don't think you realize how strong you are, bro. Because I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like, 1 in 3 gals are on some kind of head med, or they have some kind of head issue. And 1 in 3 gals also have some kind of STD, right? So that's at least a 60% chance that if you're like messing with them in some capacity, that you're gonna get one of those, right? But the reason I'm saying this, bro, is like, you know, my ex, for example, right? She recently she got diagnosed with freaking schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. And she had her problems, but I never thought it was like that serious. And the reason why I think that it happened, that it progressed into that, is because she started panicking. She started panicking because she didn't know what was going to happen to them, you know, like after I left and stuff like that. Like, she didn't, because like they had no clue. Because listen, let me just be real. You know, all these people like to call you brokies and stuff like that, but they're not working. You know, they want you to earn all this money, but they're freaking unemployed and crap. So, you know, them dealing with that stress, you know, like they don't know what to do. And so it's like, I think they literally just start freaking going crazy. They start developing all these freaking head issues and head problems and all this crap. But when we're dealing with stuff, it's like, I think our subconscious knows that we have to tough out a lot of crap. And in the end of the day, no one's really going to care. You know, we know that. And listen, let me just say it like this. It got so bad to the extent that, like, heck, even, again, I'm gonna leave people anonymous, but, like, even the person that I'm rooming with, you know, she is kind of in a similar pickle, you know? And she's not necessarily, like, struggling, mind you. It's just all mental. And I'm like, listen, you guys, you like to give yourselves a lot of crap. Like, I've seen some of this crap where it's like these guys are, like, just self-imposed torture, if you will. You know, it's like they eat like garbage, they like always self-degrade themselves, and it's almost like they're simping for negative attention, right? But I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, even that kind of guy is handling life better than like the average gal in bad moments. You know, the freaking schizophrenia and bipolar crap, the head meds, like, guys seem to handle life and stress way better than gals do. And I feel like that's probably why for the longest, like, you know, the workforce, they try to say, oh, they don't belong in the workforce. I still don't really believe that personally. I don't really care if they want to work, you know, that's them. But I don't think that, you know, we should be pretending for a moment that, like, they can handle the burden as much. Like, let's just be honest, you know. Because I'm just saying, like, when a freaking manager is working at this store for, like, several years and they can't even physically pick up the stuff that you're required to pick up on a regular basis, and then again, you know, like me, and I'm very open with this, I'm not some freaking Giga Chad guy, I'm a short freaking scrawnier guy, and I can pick up this stuff no problem, you know, I'm just saying, bro, we're not the same. We just aren't the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, bro. But I'm just saying this because, you know, I'm not going to necessarily have this be a very long video, but you guys really need to start giving yourself some more credit, because if you really think you're going through life bad and you're handling it bad and stuff, like, bro, there are just some people out here, but it's mainly the gals, and I'm telling you, like, this head med stuff, this need to, like, bury yourself in some kind of freaking drug, or, you know, just tons of sex You know, like, you handle stress and you handle life way better than chicks do. It's not even close. And I say this as somebody, again, who occasionally indulges in an escort. Yeah. But I don't do it because I'm trying to, like, numb pain or something. I just mainly do it as, like, a freaking form of release. That's all I really do. You know? I'm not trying to, like, hide myself, like, hide any kind of pain or something. I'm just doing it to just relieve stress and negative emotion, you know, pretty much. That's what I do it for. You know, and I don't deny that, yeah, it does help. It does help when you do that. But it doesn't help everything. You still have to, like, kind of make sure that you're good. You can't make sure that you're spending all your money there. Stuff like that, you know. But I just kind of want to say this. You know, for all these guys that kind of, like, they hate on themselves and stuff like that. Think about it this way, bro. You are handling that stress still way better than the very people who won't stop calling you incels and losers, and, you know, the world would be better off without you, and you're just loser men and stuff like that. You're weak men. You listen, if they had to live like you do for a month, I don't think they'd make it, because they've got the freaking privileges, and it is a privilege, let's just call it what it is, that, you know, someone cares enough about you because you were born with, you know, mammaries and a big butt and a hot pocket, right? And even if you weren't born with, like, big mammaries or a big butt, so long as you were born with a hot pocket, someone cares enough. They care enough, right? But with us, yeah, no one really cares. You have to become your own hero in your story for us, and we keep going. Now, there are guys that check out, but let's just be real, most of us, we do keep going. And these gals, it's like they're here, but they are in a horrible, horrible headspace. You think you're in a bad headspace. Holy cow, they're on some other stuff, bro. They're on some kind of med. They're just swimming in oceans of dongs to try and just forget, but their problems are still there. It's very interesting to look at the dynamics between the sexes and see how they handle stress. It really is, bro. Because all this freaking, you know, gal boss and you go girl, yes queen, that crap gets really silent when life starts getting rough. All of that big talk, all of that I'm strong and I can handle crap, when life starts pushing you, that crap goes right out the window. And I'm telling you, watching, again, personally, my ex, you know, because for some dumb arse reason, my folks are still rooming with them, even though I warned them not to. Observing this, even if it's secondhand, because I'm not there anymore, observing what's going on. That's very enlightening. And imagine if I stayed with this person, you know, a freaking schizophrenic bipolar sucker. Oh, no. You know, you never know. I might get taken up out of here. Because some of those episodes, they can get violent. You know, you never know. You never know, man. But I just wanted it to be a short one today because I really just kind of wanted to encourage you guys. You're way stronger than you think you are. You are strong to have to put up with this stuff. You are strong to have to deal with the world constantly trying to F you over. And you get out of that bed, even if you don't want to sometimes, and you face it. And they get out that bed and they just don't want to face it. It's very interesting. But I digress. That's all I wanted to share with you guys. Again, I hope you guys are hanging in there. If you are going through something like that, you know, let me know how you guys cope. Because like I said, the way that I cope is I accept it for what it is. And I acknowledge that it's something that I'm probably going to struggle with. But it is an obstacle that I'm going to go through. You know? I don't deny that there are going to be times in life where it's miserable. I don't pretend like I'm not going to face problems. I acknowledge those problems and I face them. You know? So that's how I handle it. But I would be very interested in seeing how you guys handle it. You know? If you are in fact willing to share. Thank you once again. God bless. I will see you guys next time.